Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatch Ticks. We have an unboxing today of an no, it's not an Android, but it's a PPG plus ECG. That to me is like Santa Claus and Easter Bunny all in one. You know, we did a wave of these, and this technology combined together improves, supposedly, the biometric data such as blood pressure, blood oxygen, heart rate, smile, frown, fatigue, whatever. Anyway, we've got a new one, and I brought it in because not only is it a different and new band, but it also uses a totally different app. And it's in the app where the magic happens, as you know. So, let's unbox this thing. Whoa, what is it? What is it, Mr. Ticks? It's from BangGood, and it's called the P3. And it's an ECG plus PPG blood pressure, heart rate, totally waterproof, IP67, pedometer, blah, 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 fitness sports band. Check the show notes down below. Should have a discount coupon for you on this one. It's in black with a variety of color highlights. Blue, red, the selections are right there. Just kind of an accent. So what's it all about? Silver, blue, pink, and black. Those are the colors. Dimensions. It's got the TPU band, a tiny battery, but it does have a pretty decent life, considering health monitoring, information push, and the basic stuff, sleep analysis. And it uses the PPG photoelectric sensor as well as the ECG chip. This is that Texas Instrument chip they came out with that allows us to get the heart wave. And true as it says, you can actually see your heart wave live on the associated app. Okay, more information about it. Let you read all of that stuff, and then let's unbox it. Here we go. First, there's an attention card that's both in Chinese and English, and this applies to all of these bands. You know, a lot of you guys are saying, I want something that gives me real-time blood pressure, and if I get angry and turn red and I'm about to explode, I want it to vibrate and turn red with me. It's not going to happen. These things, especially blood pressure, require calm, steady, stillness, heart at about the same level as the band, in the right place on your arm. And in this one, there's two electrodes on the bottom you're going to see, and you straddle it. Well, actually, you press this side of it, and you have to make a connection around your arms through your heart to get the ECG signal. So heart rate is not going to be something really easy to get while you're doing aerobic exercise, especially ECG-based heart blood pressure information. With that said, we can take a look at it. Here it is. It's got an interesting dual-hole band with the highlight strip of the color you order running through it. It's really tight in here. And look at that clasp. Yeah, that's like fangs, right? I got bit. It's got the two electrodes on the bottom, the heart rate diode. This one's really, really bright. Yeah, I've unboxed it and played with it already. I haven't ever seen one that bright. You could practically use this as a flashlight. It's got its little plastic cover, which I loosely tried to put back on to show you guys. There we go. It has a one-button operation, little highlight color on the side, and the bands, as far as I can tell, are not removable. Oh, wait a minute, they are. You see, that's got the USB symbol here, and that is how we plug it in. There you go. Yep, you can take both of the bands off, charge it up right there. Yeah, that's right, because there's no connecting things on the bottom. In doing that, I think I just turned it on. I did. There we go. We got the band on, but before we dive into that, we have a manual, and that's it. That's just a little cover protector. The manual, extensive as it is in Chinese and English, let's walk through it. Yeah. It's not numbered or labeled or named, which means this probably can be sold under a variety of different names, models, and companies. We're getting it known as the P3. Here's your information on how it works and the app. specifications. Now, it's using an odd new app called MeCare, M-E-C-A-R-E, available in the Google Play Store. And we're going to show you that one. Here's the proper way to place it. Notice it's further up on the arm than just like down on your wrist. There's that bump that you've got. They don't want it in front of it. They don't want it on top of it. They want it 1.5 centimeters. That's 15 millimeters above the bump in your arm. And you have to wet the electrodes on the bottom. I've found that to be true. Here's your heart rate charts that you're going to get and your blood pressure charts that you're going to get. You can get regular heart rate, but you have to manually do the blood pressure is what I've found. It's showing you straddling the band with 2 fingers like that. I've actually held it with my thumb, and you'll probably see me do that, put my index finger on the side. That was kind of awkward, but I wasn't getting good data either, so maybe that's what we're supposed to do. You know you're getting good data if it looks like this. You got that little jumping up and down. That's your heart signal going through, and they need that to compute everything from your heart rate to your blood pressure. Actually, it's computed through that. There's the MeCare app, and there's your QR codes you can scan if you're on iOS. Just scan the Google Play or go over there. There's a couple of them in there. I've used the newest one, and I'll be glad to tell you that I'm not happy with it. How's that? There's some functions that aren't working well. So I think the lower version of this is in Chinese only, but you can check it out if you get this one to see which one works best. And I think it's a work in progress, so you may need to spend some time with it and hopefully get some updates over time too. There's all the different settings. I show this partly because, well, you can't get a PDF of it, and sometimes I skip things when I'm doing my reviews that are covered in the manual, so you can always go back and look at it. These are the screens you're going to see when you cycle through in black and white, and that's it. That's all you see on the band. So most of the magic is going to happen in the app. And there's this one feature that's in here that when you hit go, it'll actually start collecting data for you, and then you can hit stop and you can get a synopsis of the information for that timed period. Otherwise, you can get your heart rate and your blood pressure through the icons that you'll see here as well. Okay, that's the manual. That's the box, the app. Let's show you the band first. There, it's already on, and I've got it in that twist to light up mode. And it's got a button at the bottom. You tap the button and it'll cycle through. There's my steps so far today. Distance traveled in miles. You can change that. Calories burned. Can't change that. There's the go for running. And then here's your PPG ECG. You saw that light up? It'll highlight ECG if you're properly connected. Otherwise, it's going to compute your heart rate, your blood pressure in this one, from just the diodes itself. I think I'm touching this thing somehow and accidentally getting that to go. Takes about 30 seconds. Same thing for blood pressure. Here's that light diode. You can't tell from the camera, but it's like practically blinding when you look at it, and it's a single diode. And then you got the ability to turn it off, and you're back to time. And that is it. It just cycles through all those things over and over again. When you get to the go here, press and hold. It starts, really flickering fast. Yeah, and it's measuring, I guess, your heart rate, your calories. It didn't get the right data, so it popped out, it looks like. And all of that stuff happens when you execute that one function that's in there. Okay, let's take a look at the app now. Once again, the app is called MeCare, available in the Google Play Store. And it's going to have these kind of screens where you have your steps shown versus time. You'll have a sleep area, which will show you your sleep quality. You'll have an area for your heart rate. And when it's at the bottom, it's 0, so it's when your band is off. And the automatic heart rates will be listed down below. You can go into this middle section where you can actually use the GPS in the phone to track your route and get your speed, pace, and calories burned against time right down here. And then you can get your ECG chart when you're in the ECG mode and hit the records to see your previous records. I show you that because all of my data isn't quite as nice as what you're seeing there. So let's open this up. The first thing you see when you open the app is this login page. You can create an account, you can sign in, log in, or you can do like I do and just skip it. If you skip it, it gives you this notice recommending that you join the free clean white list. That way the band can work in the background and you won't lose things like notifications and the regular heart rate stuff, all that. Okay, it just synchronized with the band. That's what we saw on the band is my step count. Here they are from today. There's last night's sleep, and it really was kind of screwed up. It didn't work well. I'm not sure what happened. Tossy-turny, and in the morning it was vibrating when I got a notification that a new watch was being shipped out from China and woke me up in the middle of the night. So it doesn't have that do not disturb mode. If it does, it's not working. Here's the heart rate data that it was accumulating. And there's nothing in blood pressure. Like I said, that's not automatic. I have to initiate that manually, which we will do with ECG detection down here. I have yesterday. This is what I had yesterday. I did a few blood pressure tests, and I guess we have to go separately. There's yesterday's results, the time, and the blood pressure, but I don't really have access to anything on them other than that raw data right there. And if I go back over here, I didn't have it 2 days ago, and this thing is an arc. It's going to tell you against your goal how you're doing. You have this running mode in the middle. This is one I showed you the picture of. If I say start running, it's going to put me on my map, and it's going to give you the data that you saw on the bottom of the screen in the sample from the Play Store. And then settings. Settings is where you set up your user information, all of the standard stuff, and in this case it's in metric, and you can save it. You have connected. This is the device. And in here, you can turn on your notifications, sedentary alarm clock. Here's the real-time heart rate that you can set off, or you can set in 10-minute increments up to 60 minutes. And it sends it immediately. You can find the device by turning on the anti-loss. So if you lose Bluetooth, or you can look for it, and it should vibrate. And there it is. You can't feel it, but you can see it. It's sending the signal and vibrating the band. So that's a good way to check that it's connected properly. Your heart rate alarm is fun. This is where you can have it vibrate if you exceed your dangerous heart rate, which is a level that you can set right here. Now, the question is, how often is it reading the heart rate to give you that reading that's over the top? Theoretically, it's testing you every 10 minutes. Perhaps if you're in that actual exercise mode, it's much more frequent. Not sure when you'll get that notification and if it's timely or not. 10 minutes after you're outside your aerobic zone is like not really timely, huh? Wrist brightness, twist the wrist to lighten up the screen and show you the time. It's not working right now, but it normally does. That's where you turn it on and off. You can have it on your left or your right hand here. And this is a weird one, skin color. It's not actually working, but I think this helps to calibrate the diode for reading your capillary pulsing for getting the PPG data. And if you change it to a different color, skin color, and save it, it comes back and says that it failed. So it's probably an app that's designed for a different device that can do that, and it's just not able to send that information to this particular band, or it's a feature that's coming. Your overall screen intensity, this is how bright it is. That's low. Here's high. You see it change? Whoops, I got to be on camera, huh? There's high. Screen intensity. Let's go back to low. Make sure it's on. Hit save. Well, I'm not seeing much change. Anyway, you're supposed to have the ability to change the screen intensity here. And undisturbed, this is when it's supposed to not wake you up with vibration or anything. And I had it set from 2200 to 700, and it was like 4 a.m. when I got a vibration and it lit up and a notification came in. So it's a work in progress, I think, this app. As you can see, it's rudimentary. It's all just text. It hasn't been prettied up or anything. It's not really the best app out there. That was just the connection. Here's where you can change your sport target, your sleep time, your unit settings for distance, weight, and time. And it does change from 12 to 24-hour mode on the band. That's nice. The languages are for Chinese or English only. And then you've got an About Us that tells you that we're running app version 1.9. And there's the information down at the bottom. Who's behind this thing? And you can log out. And that's everything there is on the settings, the running, and then here, the data itself. So if I scroll down here to blood pressure, and down below it, it says ECG detection. Now, before I press that, I'm going to come over here and show you that the band, here's the bump in my arm, right there. Can you see that? It wants to be 1.5 centimeters above, I guess about the thickness of my finger. So I had to open it up a bit more than where I normally have it running, down right here. So it's up high. One of the things I'm going to do is wet my finger, and I'm going to go under here and get the electrodes wet. I'm going to wet my finger again, and I'm ready to touch the side. Now I'm going to go in here and start the test. And I'm going to do it differently. See, the pad is right there. I'm touching there. Now you see that the ECG lit up as well as the PPG, and you see the chart? I'm getting my heart rate signal coming through. So you don't need to squeeze it. You don't need to use the side of your fingers, although that's what they're recommending. But I'm much more comfortable just using the tip of my index finger. There. Oh, shoot. It's off the screen. Sorry. There. You can see I'm 50% of the way through. It's got my blood pressure really low. I don't think it's that low. Uh-oh. Now I'm getting erroneous data because I moved it probably. Okay, now it's coming back. To do this right, one, it should be across from my heart. It's not. I'm sitting down and it's across from other parts of my body. Two, I should be quiet. I can't do that with you guys. It's just not in my nature. And I should be breathing nice and I should be calm. So I'm getting a relatively decent blood pressure, I guess, considering I'm not doing it the right way. I hit save. This starts a new session, but if I go into records, there's all of my records so far, and here's today, and here's the chart. You can't expand it. There's no access information. There's where I messed up, but you're getting the whole chart. There is no export. I have a save button. Doesn't seem to work. So it's got a lot of work yet ahead of it in this app. It's not even going back now. It's probably going to crash. Hang on. Okay, it's back. It just said it was saving that whole time. Wherever it's saving, I'm not sure. But now I can hit back. I can come back again. There is the last record that I've got. That's the information. Again, there's no way to export this. And when I come back here, I guess if I refresh, it should bring in the data from, well, it was sending the data from the watch here to the phone live. So why it's not showing up, I'm not sure. But it's refreshing. And if I come down, there's the data point. And I go in here, and there's the record. So you can get a record of the blood pressure, but not the pulse at that time on this screen, but not the ECG report. And 842, was that the same that matches? So there's the heart rate. separately. And here's the heart rate records every 10 minutes, just to show you. That goes all the way back throughout the night. So it's doing a good job of recording the heart rate on 10-minute or longer increments, depending on what you set. It's not giving you blood pressure unless you go in and do it manually. And with the ECG detection, you can see your chart, but you can't export it from this app. Not nearly as good as what we've seen in many of the other bands that are like this, but it's a start, and it's another ECG+PPG opportunity. So if you're interested in this technology, check the show notes. I'm going to have links for you. I'll tell you right now, you can go scholar.google.com, and then you can enter into the Scholar search term, ECG+PPG, blood pressure, for example, and you can get all sorts of scholarly documents that describe how all this technology works. There, save you time. And it's pretty cool. You can use scholar.google.com for all sorts of things. It's really a much more robust way of searching for technical information. You've been watching SmartWatch Ticks. You've got another review of a smart fitness health band, and I am really, really hoping to get back to Android watches for you guys. The only reason you haven't seen them is because we don't have them, but they are in the mail. So if you haven't subscribed yet, we encourage you to do that, and hopefully next time you're back, you're going to see something juicy. Well, this is juicy, right? Absolutely. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.